Well, let's get the latest analysis on the situation on the ground in Ukraine. I'm joined by Defence and Security Analyst, Professor Michael Clarke. Michael, lovely to see you. So we've seen a withdrawal of Russian troops from the north of the country, but we've witnessed some truly shocking scenes, haven't we? What is the current situation in the north?
Yes, this map shows, this is as of this morning, it shows how far the Russians have pulled back and how in the yellow the Ukrainians have actually occupied the territory. So it isn't just Kiev, which has been relieved, but Chernihiv, which was in a terrible state about a week ago, Sumy also been relieved. Kharkiv is even open now. Kharkiv was surrounded. So these surrounded cities are now threatened, but not surrounded, and there's considerable relief in the north. But
of course, we're then seeing what's been left behind, and we've got a satellite image we can show you of one street in Bucha. Now, of course, we've seen these horrible images close up over the last couple of days from our correspondent in there, Deborah. What do we think these show?
Yeah, these are Maxar images. Maxar is an independent satellite monitoring organisation. It takes photographs all over the place. There's no reason to doubt it. The Russians have said that these bodies appeared after they pulled out. Maxar have shown, pretty convincingly, that these bodies lying in the street were there for quite a long time when the Russians were still there. And yesterday, the Ukrainian government issued the names and ranks and the passport numbers of quite a lot of members of the 64th Motorised Infantry Brigade. And they were the last unit to be in Bucha. So there's an awful lot of dots out there, and the international community, the internet community in the world, is, in a sense, is being invited to join these dots up, and we'll see what happens in the coming weeks.
Because we don't know what these marks are, but the marks appear to be the size, and they appear to be at the angles that we saw bodies on the street.
Yeah, it's fairly convincing evidence that these bodies have been lying in the street a long time, and that they were there when the Russians were still there, when the 64th were still there.
Let's move on to the southeast now. Russia say they're focusing their campaign there. What's happening in this area?
This is where the war is moving to. The Russians very clearly are now creating, they hope, an encirclement movement of the Ukrainian forces in the area, who are the best of the Ukrainian forces. Ultimately, we're pretty sure that they want to draw a line from Kharkiv to Mariupol, literally, and catch all of the Ukrainians on the wrong side of that line. If they can, they will. But because they can't yet do that, they're pushing towards Izium, and Izium is the centre of Ukrainian resistance. It has been for the last 8 years. That's where most of their forces are. And they're also about to threaten Kramatorsk and also Slavyansk, which is very near Kramatorsk. People are already leaving Kramatorsk and Slavyansk. It looks as if the Russians are repositioning themselves for this north-south movement to try to create a line, maybe not quite the line that we've indicated there, but that will be their objective ultimately. And the battle for the southeast is about to begin. It won't be as easy for the Russians as they might think, because they're not as mobile as they imagine. And the ground, as we've said, is softening. The spring is coming on. Their armour will have to move along roads rather than spread out into the country. So the Ukrainians will undoubtedly take the opportunity to attack them. And they will be trying to attack the best of the Ukrainian forces who've been dug in there very securely for about 8 years. But it will be quite a battle as and when it starts in the coming days.
OK, thanks very much.